Well, welcome to another episode of The Secret Sauce. Today we are sitting down with Cindy McGovern, and I'm so excited to talk with her. We're reconnecting after not seeing each other for a few years. She is the first lady of sales, the CEO of Orange Leaf Consulting in San Francisco, correct? Far away from here, from Minnesota anyways. But you are also a two-time author, I'll say a Wall Street Journal best-selling two-time author for your book, Sell Yourself, and Every Job is a Sales Job. Awesome, awesome. We are so excited to have you here in the Secret Sauce today. And I know you're a busy gal because you travel globally, and I love your tagline, grow big or go home. That is so awesome. We're all about growing here.
I
And
love it. Well, it's good to see you. Oh my gosh, it's been too long and I'm excited to be a guest on your show. So thanks for having me.
oh, well, I'm excited to talk to you. Tell me a little bit about what has been kind of that journey to this place you find yourself at right now. Like,
Uh,
did you write the book and then it happened, or did you have the job, have the company and then you wrote the books, or how did it all kind of come to this moment?
so what's funny is it started before I ever even started this company. So I was a college professor many, many years ago and started consulting in the summers and went to work for a consulting firm. And about 6 months into my job, I got put in a sales role and I thought I was going to get fired. I was like, I can't sell. I don't know what this is. Like, I don't want to sell. Like, selling is icky and pushy, and I don't want to do that. And my boss at the time literally said to my 20-something-year-old, person,
Yeah.
if you learn to sell, it'll change your life. And I like rolled my eyes, Nancy. I'm like, whatever. Like, you're a sales
You're
guy. I'm
lying. You're
not.
lying.
Yeah. So fast forward about 6 months into that role, I realized I'd been selling my entire life. I just didn't call it sales. And I went, wait a minute. I have a PhD in communication and I didn't learn this. What is going on here? And so that led me to leave, start my own company. And then that led me to start writing books and helping other people to realize that sales is not just a business skill, it's a life skill.
It's so true, isn't it? I mean, to make those connections in those relationships, you have to be selling not only yourself, but I think yourself first, because it's all
Yeah.
about people liking you and wanting to then do business with you, right?
I think that's 100% true. And it's even one step further than that of like you're selling trust, right? So when you're selling yourself, you're selling trust in you. And I have to buy you before I'm going to buy anything from you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do believe we're selling ourselves first. That's why I called the latest book Sell Yourself, because I think we sell ourselves short when we don't look at every interaction as an opportunity.
Very true. I totally agree with that. So digging down a little bit, because we know you're a successful gal. I want to know, what do you think is maybe one of the biggest factors that has helped you reach this, pinnacle? And I know you're not done yet. I'm just saying this moment in time, right? There's more to do.
Yeah.
There's more
Like,
to do.
I'm still going, hold on.
But
Yeah.
what do you think is
I know.
maybe the biggest factor that you bring?
So my biggest thing with what has gotten me here and what I think will get me to the next place and the next place and the next place is I am a planner. I am a hyper planner.
Love it.
And I am not a fly by the seat of my pants gal, although I can pivot just like anybody else. But it is that intentional focus that I am constantly rewriting my plan. And this is the thing when I'm like coaching people or when I'm giving a speech or something, and people are like, well, what if I write a plan and then things change? You're going to write a plan and things are going to change. It's supposed to be fluid. Like,
Kind
it's
of a
it's
given,
never
right?
going to be set in stone. Right. But people rail against planning because they think, but what if? Your plan should account for the what if. It should have some twists and turns. But I do believe that it is my intentional focus on executing a plan that has helped me to be able to help so many other people.
What are your success habits? Like, do you have a habit every day? Do you have a habit every week? Is there something you go to monthly or yearly that is your jam that gets you, excited about what you're
Yeah. So I have a lot. So let me give you kind of the weekly, daily, monthly, yearly.
uh,
So the daily is it's always the to-do list. So I'm the to-do list girl. Like to the point where if I do something that's not on it, I have to put it on there so I can mark it off, right? Like I
Yeah.
need my gold star for the day. So it goes back to that planning. But it also is about 90-day rolling quarters that I do for my plans. But I also work with two business coaches. I fully believe you can't do your own brain surgery. So I have monthly coaching with my own coaches to tell me, bounce ideas, and they do very different things, both of them. But I want that outside view. I want somebody to challenge my thinking, even with my own team. And we do every month on our monthly meetings.
Right.
But I like that outside looking in. And then I also do half year strategy and then full year strategy for all of the companies. So, we do a little retreat and we really think through that. So those are some of the things, but it all goes back to that planning. It all goes back to how we're developing that plan. And I will also say that one of my routines, if you will, is I am religious about the plan, almost to a fault. I am very careful and I think through the next steps. So, like, for example, if I know I've got a big speech coming up, I need a day to kind of just get mentally ready. So I can't coach anybody the day before. Like, I just need that mental space so that I can show up and be Dr. Cindy that day.
Right.
That requires planning. So those are things that are in my routine where I know myself at this point and I know what I need and I know the downtime that I need to be able to deliver.
I love that because you're really knowing your limitations and what limitations and what you need to actually prepare to show up in your best space,
Yeah.
and in your best way. I love that you take that time for you. I know sometimes I'll do a calendar invite to myself
Yeah.
and block off the time to like it's
Right.
me time kind of thing, which I think is so essential when you're constantly dealing with people and energy of what they're doing, and especially
Yeah.
if you're in person with them, that can be even more intense than something that's over, video or Zoom or
Mm-hmm.
something too. So yeah, no, I love that. I love that.
I talk about that in my latest book, the Sell Yourself book, and I talk about like being yourself plus 10%, right? And it's this, they're paying for Dr. Cindy. So Dr. Cindy needs to show up. I can't be Dr. Cindy at 75%. I can't, and
Right.
even with a coaching client, like I got to be 100% coach. And knowing that you've got to take care of you first is really hard for a lot of folks, especially women. We struggle with that, right?
Oh,
More so than
right.
a lot of the men that I work with.
Yes.
And part of this is around the permission you give yourself. And I think that that's one of the secret sauce pieces too, is allowing yourself, like giving yourself permission to put me time on the calendar and to stick to it. Because a lot of times we'll move that down on the list.
Oh,
We'll
for
say,
sure.
oh, okay, well, I'll just take a day off at the end of, August, which is however many months away, right?
Right.
Versus going, I need this to be able to be Dr. Cindy or Nancy or whoever you are. Like, I think that is a secret sauce, and knowing what you need and giving yourself permission to do it.
Was there what was maybe your hardest decision you've ever had to make in regards to either your career or path in your life or something, that maybe set you in a different trajectory or just made you kind of sit up and go, oh boy.
Yeah. There were two very pivotal moments that I can share, but I would say that there've been so many. Like, I think those are the lessons. Those are the, like, the little voice inside of you going, is a good thing. When she gasps, you should pay attention. She knows what she's doing.
Yes, amen to
But
that.
right. But the first one was when I left academia. When I realized that was not the path for me, that was really hard. I'd gone to school for 7 years to get a PhD to be a college professor. And when I realized that was not it, that was a tough moment of like, am I doing the right thing here? What if this doesn't work? Then I've gotten out of academia, and that's a club that when you leave, it's harder to get back in. And
That's a huge
so,
move. I mean, that's a huge move.
and it was scary, Nancy. Like, I remember talking to my major professor from when I did my dissertation, and I called her on the phone, and I was like, okay, like, what am I making a horrible mistake?
Yeah.
And she was like, you're following what your gut says, so no. But it was so scary in that moment of like, I literally had this plan. Now I'm completely taking a left-hand turn. And you know me, love a plan. So that was the first one. And then the second one was when I quit my job to start Orange Leaf Consulting. And I quit at the bottom of the real estate market. I quit in 2008. And
Why, yeah.
yeah,
That was a crazy year there.
yeah, I remember coming home and I was telling my husband, I said, so I'm going to quit my job. And at the time I was like, I'm going to focus on title agents. And he's like, so you're going to quit your job to start a company to help companies that don't have any money to pay you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, here we go.
For it.
So yeah, and in my head, in my crazy entrepreneur head, I'm like, if I can make this work now, it'll be fine. And if I can't make it work now, I'm in sales, I'll go get a job. But those were two moments where it was so scary of like, what am I doing? Like, have I made a horrible mistake? Like, and there were more, moments during that where I'm like, am I gonna have to roll pennies for gas? Like, what's gonna, what's gonna happen here? So I
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
those moments and being able to work through them is also part of the secret sauce. Knowing yourself, believing in yourself, betting on yourself, that was key in those moments to push me through that fear.
Huge, huge. That takes such courage. But when you come out on the other side, I mean, how happy are you that you did that? I mean,
Like,
seriously.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Your
The
wheelhouse,
risk was worth it.
what you should be doing, what people told you you should be doing. Oh, that's amazing. Is there some advice that you could give someone? Like what's your best line of advice to someone that is trying to find their unique path to
Yeah.
success? What's that one thing you think people maybe need or something that you would share
Stop
with?
stop actually listening to everybody else and listen to what you want.
Love it.
And I think that we seek advice from we live in this peer review society now, right? Like we don't even buy pens on the internet without looking at the stars and the reviews. So
Right.
like we have this solicitous view of the world where it's like, well, I need approval from everybody else before I'm going to do this. You don't. And that's the thing is like, you know, I wasn't seeking approval from my college professor. I was literally seeking a gut check of like, am I nuts here?
Mhm.
So I think it's important that you listen to yourself and you listen to your own intuition about where you should be. And I think it's also let that voice talk because we're really good at rationalizing him or her away. We're really good at sort of putting, I call them the chorus, the backup singers in your head.
Mhm.
We're good at pushing them back. Maybe it's their time to have a solo. Maybe it's their time to speak up and say, is this really where you should be? Is this really making you happy? Is this fulfilling you? Is this really still the path? And recognizing it's not too late. Like, 60 is the new 40. Come on, people. Like, we
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah, no kidding. And going back to that approval piece, I think that we're so tied into, the whole social media thing where you're always feeling like you need approval, or you're always feeling like, oh, you need this many likes if you're on a trajectory to success or whatever. And it's just not the case. It's like the impact that you make little by little is going to get you to where you want to be, I feel like, and it's always fun, obviously, to dabble in the social media and be out there and all that stuff, but it is hard because there's so much information coming at you too to find your own unique way. If you delve too much in that, like you said, you have to listen to what's in here, not what you're always seeing in front of you
Yeah.
on your phone or on your computer, kind
Yeah.
of. So,
It's really interesting too because with the social media thing we're so tied into that positive reinforcement and immediate positive reinforcement, so
exactly.
it's almost like a desperation for some people where it's like I have to post this and like oh, I only have this many likes so I need to post again and and so it becomes this never ending treadmill if you're not careful.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we lose sight of what you're trying to do in the first place, which is, are you trying to get likes or are you trying to reach people and get them to think differently?
Yeah. What's your purpose? What's your purpose of doing that?
Stay
Making an
focused
impact.
on that.
Yeah.
Stay focused on that.
Obviously, you found a lot of success, but if you could start all over again, would you do anything differently?
Sure. I mean, I think hindsight's always 2020, right? But what's funny is if I really did give, like, somebody gave me the magic wand and said, okay, you get to start exactly at the very beginning again, and knowing you're going to end up where you are now, I don't know that I would change it, because I think the mistakes were the lessons, and I think the pivots were powerful. So I don't like, I wish I had the knowledge then that I have now. Yeah,
Oh,
after having a
yeah.
company for 16 years, like, I wish I had that. But I do think that that journey and that evolution was crucial to my own development and my continued development. Like, I launched an online academy a few years ago. I didn't know what the heck I was doing,
Yeah.
So I think we're constantly learning, constantly evolving.
Right.
And so if I could, maybe a few things, but I don't know that I'd want a mistake eraser, because I think those were powerful.
Is there one change that someone could make right now that would help them be more successful? Just like one change.
Yeah. And it is literally where I started this, which is make a better plan for yourself. Because I think we have ideas and we mistake ideas for plans.
Yeah.
And it's the intention behind it. When you actually create a plan and you put pen to paper, that's serious. It's like when you make a grocery list, right? Like, you're serious about what you're going to come out of the store with. You have a
Yeah.
plan for success of what you're going to get. Doesn't mean Oreos don't end up in the cart. I get it. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
having that intentional piece. And it's one of those struggles that even with our coaching clients, we see, even with our business clients, that we are working with them on strategy, and it's, mid-year or beginning of the year, whatever it happens to be, they struggle with really wanting to commit to something. But
Yeah.
if you can do that, if you can change that and commit to the plan, and then commit to an action per day to execute that plan, that's the change to make. And I'll give you an example. So one of the ways that I measure my own success, I do the business development mainly for Orange Leaf Consulting. Not that everybody doesn't, every job is a sales job, but I sort of carry the bag. And I have a goal for myself that every day I have to have a meaningful interaction with somebody that is not a current client, period. So a
Awesome.
meaningful interaction is a conversation, an email exchange, a text exchange, something that brings the ball down the field a little bit further
Yeah.
into creating a partnership. And that's my own measure of success based on my plan. So if you can whittle it down to being something that is so incredibly manageable like that, changes everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cindy, for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it. So great to connect with you.
So good to see you. Thank you so much for having me. This was great fun.
Okay, my friends, that is the secret sauce.